and we are live with another edition of the All Gas No Break Sports Show. I am one of your co-hosts, Nicholas Pavona, joined alongside, as always, by my co-host, Andrew Johnson. And Johnson, 12 weeks into the NFL season, and the NFL playoff picture is still a little bit murky right now. We still don't realistically know who's going to make the postseason. The race is starting to heat up just a little bit after this past weekend, and we go into week 13, of course, Thanksgiving week. We've got a couple games on Thanksgiving Day going into the night. We have, of course, the newly founded Black Friday game on Friday, and then we have a couple big games on Sunday, all leading to a Monday night game that I might want to not watch, but I'm sure you're going to watch with all intent purposes.
Yeah, do you want to go up to Foxborough this weekend?
I hate football.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm good. I do have someone that is going to the game, but and I told him good luck.
Okay, well, good luck to him too. Hope he's going
He's
to
not
the
a Giants
Patriots
fan.
gear.
He's not a Giants fan, but they said good luck. Whatever. That's gonna be a rough game. Or no, it's gonna be rough. I'm not gonna talk myself.
Yeah, it's gonna be rough.
It's gonna be rough. I'm not gonna try to talk myself into it. But yeah, big games upcoming this week. Of course, we talked about this in the college football pod that we just finished up, but one of the more favorite weeks of the entire sports calendar year, college basketball, you and I, big fans of that. Yeah, feast week, college football, this is where all the big-time rivals play each other this week. And then for the NFL, of course, you have Thanksgiving. Now they have the Black Friday game and some big games on Sunday as well, all ending on Monday Night Football. And after this week, the playoff picture will still probably be, a cesspool and trying to figure out who's going to make it, but it will become a little bit more clearer going into the week after, which will be week number 14. So let's get things started, Johnson. Well, what happened last Thursday night in Houston, Texas, and how about this Texans defense? They have been stellar all season long. 8 sacks against Josh Allen. They forced a couple big turnovers, 3 in that game as well. 2 interceptions off of Allen in that one. And they get a much-needed win to stay alive in the postseason race, as well as stay alive in the AFC South division race. 23-19 the final in this game. Despite CJ Stroud not playing, the Texans have been rolling these last couple weeks, continuing this win streak, and going to get a much-needed win over Buffalo.
Nick, can you remind me what the Buffalo Bills' record is for the season?
They are now 7-4.
7-4. Yeah, so that's by my calculations. They've had 4 Super Bowls against them, right? Because I think the Miami Dolphins won their Super Bowl against them. The Patriots won their Super Bowl against them. Now the Texans won their Super Bowl against them. So, every time they lose, it's another. No, I'm just saying, every time they lose, you see Bills fans saying, "Oh, congratulations, you won the Super Bowl." So, hey, looks like Buffalo's lost 4 Super Bowls this year.
Is that supposed to be a joke because they lost 4 in a row?
Oh, now that you mention it,
you know what you were doing.
Super Bowls in a row.
You know what you were doing.
No.
Well,
never.
Here's the problem with Buffalo right now. They're right now, going into this upcoming week, they're right now the last team into the playoffs at this current point. And the team that just beat them is the first team out. So they don't have the tiebreaker over them. And the team that they play this upcoming weekend, if they beat them, then they're out of the playoffs entirely. So Buffalo is in a must-win game this upcoming week. But yeah, it's been the same story for Buffalo, unfortunately. Their rush defense continues to be a problem. Their offensive line just looked abysmal in this game. But again, it just gives more credit to what the Texans defense has done, because despite not having your starting quarterback for the season, their offensive line has been absolutely terrible too. And despite all of that, they've won 3 straight games. They're 6-5 now, and they've got a realistic shot of not only making the postseason, but maybe even sneaking away with this division title if they could beat the Colts on Sunday. So that's something to watch out for. You gotta give credit to what D'Amico Ryans and company have been doing these last couple weeks.
Dare I say it? They look better without CJ Stroud. They look better with Davis Mills.
I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know if I'm willing to say that.
Are you willing to have the conversation?
No, I'm not.
Okay, well,
we've seen the Davis Mills experiment before. I'll give him this. He's looked great during this stretch. He has looked really good.
These last couple games, he's been playing great.
Because he looked really bad when he first was the starting quarterback of this team before Stroud got there. He was really, really bad. To his credit, that was probably because the Texans weren't good also. but he's looked fine. He's been a serviceable backup, and he's been doing the job. And it comes down to, can he continue this? Because it seems like they might have to play him again this weekend because Stroud is still in the concussion protocol. So he might miss his fourth game in a row this weekend. But they have to feel at least confident that Mills can get the job done because you've seen also you're getting more production out of Woody Marks since Mills has been playing. Nico Collins has looked like the guy we saw last season too. So maybe I can somewhat sneak, listen to your argument, but I'm not still willing to say it just yet. So I'll leave it at that.
Okay, you know what I'm willing to say, Nick?
Yeah, let's talk about your favorite team, right?
Yeah, I'm willing to say that Patrick Mahomes played a good game this week.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, if you were blindfolded and had no idea what football was.
I should have saw that coming.
Listen, he played a great game. He's really good on defense. He forced a bunch of punts late in the fourth quarter.
I think
3 straight punts. Yeah. Well,
I mean, I'll say this: the Chiefs' defense. You have to at least give them props for what they did.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes led the Chiefs' defense. He was their cheerleader.
Well,
he forced 3 straight punts.
Okay. It feels like even if the Chiefs win, you're still not. You're just
What, I'm supposed to throw a parade when they score 23 points?
I'm not saying you have to do that. Listen, I think at the end of the day, we talked about it last week. If they lost this game, their playoff odds were like 27% making it. So they need to win. They get the job done, but they're still not in right now because they're not even the first team out of the playoffs, and they're not even the second team out of the playoffs. They're the third team out right now. So
hey, but they're top 5 in the power rankings, and that's what matters.
They're not top 5 anymore. That was weeks ago. They're not. There's no way they're not top 5 now.
All right, I'll quit it. You
gotta get over it. I understood the bit a couple weeks ago when that was happening. The bit's over with. They're not top 5 anymore. But we'll see. They got a big game on Thursday, and you get the sense that they probably got to win that game too because their odds still not great right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's either they win a couple games and make it to the NFL postseason, or they go to the Cancun Invitational.
Well, yeah. Before we go to the next game, if I'm the Colts, are you a bit worried that your division lead's starting to slip now because you're only up a game now on Jacksonville?
No, because Jacksonville somehow is figuring out how to win games.
The worst
and they look
team I've ever
seen. Yeah, this is the worst. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna talk about them later, but we're not even going to talk about them. We're not going to talk about them.
Yeah,
they're one of the worst teams I've ever seen. Trevor Lawrence. If they had an actual quarterback, if you had a monkey that had a QBR of 87, they would have 9 wins right now.
He threw, I think it was 3 interceptions. They were all the worst interceptions I've ever seen, and they're getting away with it because their defense is doing just enough to force turnovers and get the ball back. So, they're playing some of the worst offensive football. The only thing that's been redeeming about their offense has been their run game. Juden and Etienne have been great for them this season, but they cannot pass the ball. They are.
I really believe Urban Meyer did long-term damage to this man because he was a certified winner in high school, in college, and then he got the Jacksonville, and then
we were crying this guy as the next big quarterback.
Great quarterback.
Yes.
He had everything. He has the arm strength. He had the mobility. He had the IQ. Yeah. And I think one season of Urban Meyer in the NFL might have ruined him forever.
Well, the only reason I bring it up is because the Colts have to play both the Texans and the Jaguars twice to end their regular season in their final 6 games. And the in-between games that they have to play are against 2 playoff teams in the NFC, the Seahawks and the 49ers. So their final 6 games are very, very rough. So that's the only reason I bring it up. It's really going to be tough for the Colts to try to clinch this division title now, with the division lead just being a game up on Jacksonville and 2 games up on Houston.
Yeah, I guess time will only tell about this about the division lead, but you know what's not going to tell? The Steelers and their inevitable collapse. Would you rather, Nick? I'm going to give you 2 scenarios for the Steelers, right?
I'm going to give you.
Would you rather?
Yeah, go ahead. I got a stat for you when you're done with this.
Would you rather start off the season hot and collapse to a 9-8 record and fire everyone, or start the season off abysmal and climb your way to 9-8 record and then fire everyone?
Well, are you making the
If you
playoffs nine and
say,
eight?
maybe you'll give you
Are you
65%
serious that the
chance.
Steelers are going to go 9-8 regardless?
Uh, yeah. Well, if you answered yes to either of those, Nick, you might be a Steelers fan.
You're definitely a Steelers fan. They are going 9-8. There's just no doubt about it. Mike Tomlin does this every single season. Even when they were
It's
playing
been written
17
in the
games,
stars since 2 years
even
ago
when they were
that
playing
they were going to be
16
9 and
games,
8.
they were going 8-8. As long as they're over 500, the Steelers will not care, and they're probably going to be over 500 this season. Um, the stat I had for you is: do you know who some of the quarterbacks the Bears have beaten this season?
Please tell me.
Okay, in their 8 wins, they have beaten Dak Prescott,
Okay, he's
Geno
quality.
Geno Smith.
He's bad.
I believe that was Yes, Jaden Daniels.
Injured or like not injured?
This was, I believe, he was playing this game.
Okay, so quality.
Let me just double. Yeah, he was playing that game. Okay, he was not hurt. Okay, let me go back to the schedule. You have Spencer Rattler,
Great quarterback. Excellent IQ. And then you wake up.
Joe Flacco,
Elite.
Jackson Dart, and a mixture of Russell Wilson at the end.
That doesn't count then. That's a tainted win. Continue.
JJ McCarthy.
Did he beat JJ or 9? It doesn't
9.
matter. Continue.
It doesn't matter. And then Mitch Trubisky this past Sunday.
Yep, quality. Wow, so it sounds like they beat like 2.5 quarterbacks.
Yeah. And remember, they shouldn't have even won the Bengals game if not for their terrible defense at the end.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I said they beat 2.5 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, it's tough.
I mean, hey, you know what? If I'm a Bears fan, I don't even care. You won 8 games. Like this is
You're right.
You have to feel good. You have to feel good regardless.
And then I look at the
I know.
back half of their schedule
Yeah,
and like, well, it was fun while it lasted. You're about to lose 6 games, so have fun.
Is very rough. They play the Eagles on Friday. You got the Packers the week after. The Browns doesn't seem like the worst. That should be maybe a win, but their defense has been playing good. And who knows? Maybe Shador Sanders continues to play the way he did this past Sunday. You play the Packers again. You're at San Francisco, and you play the Lions at the end of the year, and you gave up 52 points to them earlier in the season. So, yeah, I would. Great win. At least they're getting these wins out of the way now, but I would not be surprised if they lose a lot of these games at the back end of the schedule. I'm as someone that took the Bears to make the playoffs at the beginning of the season, I'm a bit worried about that back end of the schedule. They probably have to win what you would think, maybe 2 of those games, and they probably are fine at 10-7.
Yeah, I think they have to win 2 games.
Yeah, I think if they win 2 of those games, you get the Browns game. You think would be one of them. If they can win one of the other games, then I think they should be more than likely fine. But then again, you gotta remember in the NFC, you have the Lions right now who are 7-4, and they're right now on the outside looking in. So 10 wins might not be enough. You might have to win 11 games to make the wild card in the NFC. But for the other side, for the Steelers, though, because of their loss and the Ravens being the Jets on Sunday, the Steelers are now on the outside looking in the playoff picture. They are now no longer in firm control of the AFC North. And Johnson, their current playoff odds are 27%. It is drastically fallen since a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I mean it keeps on collapsing, and they still have a chance. So we'll find out.
They play Buffalo on Sunday. Then they're at Baltimore, home against the Dolphins, at Detroit, at Cleveland, ends the year at home against Baltimore. So they do have the Ravens twice. They do have to play the Bills. A tough game against the Lions, and then the Dolphins and Browns game. I wouldn't necessarily guarantee them winning those games. Those are games you would think they would try to win, but I wouldn't be surprised if they lose those games. They just haven't been playing good football. Their defense hasn't looked like the Steelers' defense we've known from pretty much our entire livelihoods, and their offense has just been very up and down this season. Even when Rodgers not playing this week, they didn't look terribly, but they just haven't been playing a good 4 quarters of football. And I felt like they haven't played a good 4 quarters of football in a very long time. So we'll see what happens against them in Buffalo on Sunday. They really need to win that game against the Bills. Speaking of teams, though, getting must-win games, Johnson, how about the Cowboys? I don't like these two teams, but you got to commend the Cowboys for what happened in this game. They were down 21 points against the Eagles on Sunday, 14-0 deficit at the end of one quarter. They scored 24 unanswered points. They shut out the Eagles for the second half entirely, and they win the game 24-21. They keep their playoff hopes alive. They go to 5-5-1 now on the season. Dak Prescott, really solid game. Broke Tony Romo's record for most passing yards as a Dallas Cowboys quarterback, and he keeps the Cowboys alive in the playoff race. Their playoff percentages isn't great right now. It's only at 8%, but they're not out just yet. You have to see what they do the next couple weeks. We talked about it earlier. They play a big game on Thursday against the Chiefs, and we'll see if they can get another big must-win game on Thursday against Kansas City.
Yeah, absolute collapse from the Eagles here, and I know you were probably smiling ear to ear with this because it was funny because CeeDee Lamb like celebrated on a 7-yard slant route when they were down like three
CeeDee Lamb
touchdowns.
just
And
cannot catch passes.
or was it George Pickens? Maybe it was George
was
Pickens
George
that
Pickens,
celebrated. Yeah, it was George Pickens that celebrated on like this mid yards like this routine slant route down 3 touchdowns, and people lost their mind. And then like he single handedly took this game over.
Yeah, George
Him and
Pickens is
Dak Prescott
unbelievable. Yeah.
just destroyed the Eagles, the secondary. Dak picked them apart, and now it's no longer a meme. Now it's kind of funny.
I mean, the Eagles' offense has been so bad. And remember, against the Giants, I think that was, 3 or 4 games ago? Everyone was like, oh, look, their offense is fixed. It's finally back. The last 3 weeks, they've scored 10 points against the Packers. They won that game. 16 against Detroit. They won that game. And then they put up 21 against Dallas, and they lost that game. And they got shut out, as I mentioned, in the entire second half against a defense that, remember, we were joking about it earlier. They were probably the second worst defense the entire season behind the Bengals with the way that they were giving up yards. But their defense has really improved these last couple weeks. They got Quentin Williams, of course, in the trade deadline. They're starting to play a little bit better football, and we'll see if maybe they can sneak in. It's, as I mentioned, the wild card race in the NFC is really, really tough right now for them to even get in there. But it's not over yet for them. They still have a shot, but they got to win this week against Kansas City. And if I'm the Eagles, I think no matter what happens at the end of the season, they got to find an offensive coordinator because it's been really bad without Tua.
Yeah. I mean, hey, there's an OC available. What's his name?
Don't say Brian Dable. Don't you dare.
No. It's not Brian Dable. He has some historic ties to Philadelphia.
Oh, Chip Kelly. Yes.
Chip Kelly.
Yes.
There he is.
Thank you. You know what, Johnson? You are a smart man. I am with you on that.
Listen, he's got some head coach pedigree. I mean, he'd be the perfect OC. You know what he could be? He could be like your Josh McDaniels. Just think of it like that.
Yeah.
Just try it.
Yeah. Man, that happened, I would laugh. I would laugh so much if they hired Chip Kelly back. But Chip Kelly right now does not deserve a job in the NFL.
No. He deserves one.
But if there was any job for him, it'd be the Eagles' offensive coordinator job.
Yep, I recommend him.
I agree with that.
Got my seal of approval.
Now, going to our next game, I think I'm confident to say this. The Rams, I think, are the team to beat right now in the NFL.
Yeah, I think so. I think between Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams turning back the clock, and he's a bona fide top 10 wide receiver.
Devontae Adams had the funniest stat line last week against Seattle, where he had like 1 catch for 1 yard, and it was a touchdown. He's scored like 8 touchdowns in the last 5 games.
Yeah.
He's been unbelievable. And their defense has been insane. I mean, Baker Mayfield did get injured in this game against them. So that's a tough injury for Tampa Bay, what's been a season riddled with injuries for them. But the Rams right now, they have right now, in my opinion, the MVP in Matthew Stafford. You have a great 1-2 punch, as you mentioned, with Puka and Devontae Adams. Kyron Williams is a very solid running back, but their defense has just been so amazing too.
And you know what? Their offensive line?
Yeah.
Their offensive line's doing it for them. Top 5 offensive line in the NFL right now, and they're just making everyone's job easier.
Yeah, I mean, this seems like if there was ever a year for this team to win again, this feels like the year. Everything that could go right has been going right for them. Despite the Seahawks being good, the 49ers have been good in the division, they're still looking like the team, not only in their own division, but the team in the entire NFL to beat right now at this point.
So here's my question to you, and I'll give you my answer immediately. Um, do you think Matthew Stafford, if he wins MVP and the Super Bowl, retires at the end of the season? I'm gonna say
Mm.
no because he has the rare opportunity to finish top 5 in passing yards and top 6 in
Yeah,
touchdowns.
I don't think he
I think
does.
he's leaving too much on the table here.
Yeah, yeah. It would be a great. I mean, listen, it would be an amazing way to go out on your own
And if he
terms.
did, he would win. He would retire a Hall of Famer.
Oh well,
But I
yeah, of
think
course.
he's leaving too much on the table.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. I think it'd be just he still has some lot more in the tank. Um, I know going into the year he had those injury concerns with his back, and obviously they have not plagued him whatsoever. 30 touchdowns and 2 picks. It has not plagued him whatsoever this season. Um, yeah, I doubt it. But hey, listen, I mean, it'd be a storybook ending to your career if you could win the Super Bowl, win the Super Bowl MVP, win the regular season MVP, and get a second ring out of it. So who knows? But keep in mind, the Rams do have right now at this current point, they're going to have a top 10 pick in the NFL draft also because of the Falcons trade. So if it were to happen, they would be in the quarterback market, whether that be in the draft or free agency. But I don't think they got to worry about that just yet. Right now, they are in a very good spot. Despite the loss for Tampa Bay, I think the biggest concern is finding out how long Baker's going to be injured because I think, if I'm not mistaken, this was somewhat of the similar injury that he had in Cleveland that the Browns, rushed him back and they then traded him, at the end of the year because they were really upset with how he performed under the injury. So I'm wondering if the Buccaneers, how long they'll bench him just to get him back healthy. If they have Teddy Bridgewater playing, they're going to be in trouble. The good thing is, at least the only threat in their division is the Panthers, and we'll segue into that next game, the final game of the week. The Panthers, despite looking somewhat decent the last couple of weeks, I mean, that game on Monday night was absolutely atrocious between them and San Francisco. I don't know if
Yeah,
you have any
and I think
thoughts
we.
about that game.
Yeah, I have no thoughts
Yeah, Brock Purdy
on this game
sucked.
really. Besides
Bryce,
start Mac Jones.
yeah, Matt, honestly, I was with you. I really, I even said it at he threw 3 picks in the first quarter.
Yeah, he had like 60 yards and 3 picks
I
at the end of the
mean,
first half.
both quarterbacks combined for 5 interceptions. Horrible, horrible game.
I will say Bryce Young has looked better overall, though.
That was the thing. He was looking. He had a really big game the week prior against Atlanta. He had like 400 yards passing. He was doing great, and then this game happened. He had a horrible red zone interception. Had another pick later in the game. Like that's he's
Yeah,
just
listen,
been
he didn't
so
look he didn't
confusing.
look great this game. He kind of regressed a little bit this game, but
Yeah.
I think this overall improvement from last year to this year, and
Hey,
he still
listen.
has a couple games left to prove himself. So
Yeah,
I think if he can get himself up to like a 90 passer rating by the end of the year, have a couple strong games to finish the year, which I think with this schedule they'll be able to do it. They're going to play. Obviously, they're going to play the Rams, so get rid of that. But they
yeah.
play Tampa twice, and they're going to play New Orleans. So I think he's got
You
a
have to play
shot to.
Seattle.
Yeah. I mean, it's a tough game, but
Yeah.
if you play Tampa twice, New Orleans once, you could maybe stop that
Yeah,
a little bit.
I
Those
mean,
games.
I think the thing for them is that they could steal one of those games, and then we don't know what the severity of Baker's injury is. He might play on Sunday, but they might not rush him on Sunday to play. So that's something to also note because they might all they need to do is sneak away with one game, and Tampa Bay continues to lose. And look at that, they're in first place in the division. So we'll have to see. But yeah, they looked really bad on Monday. That was really bad. That was a really bad way to end. But it was a very good, solid week number 12 in the NFL. And we now head into week 13, Johnson. Of course, a big week with, of course, the Thanksgiving holiday on Thursday, going into the afternoon, going into night. And let's get things started in the week 13 mushing hour with our first game on Thanksgiving, which is Packers at the Lions. I feel like we get this game every Thanksgiving, but it's been a great tradition to see these two teams play on Thanksgiving Day. It's Lions minus 2.5, 48.5 is the over-under.
Packers plus 2.5, and I don't want to touch this game for 10-foot pole.
Yeah, the Packers, obviously, we saw what happened in week 1. They dominated them. I can't see the Lions losing both games, though, this season, despite the Packers having the better defense. After what I saw Jahmyr Gibbs do against the Giants on Sunday, 219 rushing yards. I think he had like 260 scrimmage yards. I'm expecting him to have another solid game against this Packers defense. I'll take the Lions minus 2.5. This should be a fun game regardless of not touching it, whether, you're feeling froggy and trying to play something on the game. But I'll take the Lions minus the 2.5. I just can't see them losing both games to this Packers team this season. What do we got next on Thanksgiving Day?
We've got Cowboys. I'm sorry, Chiefs at Cowboys. Chiefs are on the road and they're 3-point favorite and slated over under 52.5. Chiefs money line because the obvious.
Well, what's the obvious?
Oh, if I pick them right, that's great. But if they lose, that's even better.
It doesn't matter what happens. You just win.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it. I'm going to go with Chiefs minus 3. The Cowboys, as I mentioned, their defense play a little bit better as of late, but the Chiefs' defense is the stronger unit out of the two. I'll take Mahomes and company to get the job done. They will get Isaiah Pacheco back, which is good help for that running back room on Thursday. So we'll see how that affects this game. But I'll take Kansas City to get the job done on Thursday afternoon on Thanksgiving in Dallas. And then we round out the Thanksgiving slate with the Bengals at the Ravens. It is Ravens minus 7, 52.5, the over-under. And of course, Johnson, he is back. Joe Burrow making his long-awaited return for the Cincinnati team. Can they get the job done?
Ravens minus 7. They're not going to get it done. It's not going to be close.
I got Bengals plus 7, and if you have to ask me, I think the Bengals win this game.
I guess we'll find out.
I obviously will see if they if Burrow is being rushed back. The problem with Baltimore is that they have not looked great these last couple weeks. Their offense has not looked good. There was ever a get right game for them. It's this game against this bad Bengals defense. But Cincinnati, they need to win because their only hope of making the playoffs is, of course, in the division. Let me look at their playoff odds. What is it? It's less than 1%. So they have to just pretty much win out at this point. With Burrow back, you at least have to feel confident that you could maybe finish 9-8 and win the division. But we'll see. I got Cincinnati to cover the plus 7. I think like I said, I think they actually might win this game on Thursday night. So we'll see what happens in that matchup. But let's go into our Black Friday game, Johnson. What do we got?
We've got a good one. It's Bears at Eagles. Eagles are 7-point favorite. Over under slate at 44.5. Eagles minus 7. This is an easy one. The Bears don't stand a chance.
It's crazy to think that the Bears, if they win this game, they'll be the 2 seed in the NFC with a victory. But I'm with you. Eagles minus 7. The Eagles, I've got to be frustrated with what happened this past Sunday. I think they're going to use that as motivation. And if I'm the Bears, I'm happy we got the win against the Steelers, but you're going to be facing a very angry Eagles team on Friday. I expect Philadelphia to come out guns a-blazing, needing to get this win, just at least trying to make a statement that they're not washed right now offensively. So I'll take Philadelphia minus 7 in that matchup on Friday in our Black Friday game this year. Then we go into the Sunday slate, a big matchup in the AFC South. It is the Texans at the Colts. Colts, a 4.5-point favorite. 44.5 is the over-under.
Colts minus 4.5. I feel like they got to win this game at home. It's a must-win, and the Texans are eventually going to lose one, so I think it's this game.
Yeah, I think these two teams are going to split. I'll take the Colts minus 4.5. I'll give the leeway to the home team. Offense did not look good for them last Sunday against the Chiefs. Now you have to play probably arguably the best defense in the entire NFL in Houston. I'm going to give the Colts the win just because of how I just trust their offense obviously a lot more than this Texans offense, but it should be a really good game between these two teams. I think it will come down to the wire, but I could see this being one where the Colts are up like 3, the Texans like turn it over late, and then the Colts get another field goal and they win by like 6. So I can see it being close, but I think the Colts cover the 4.5 in that matchup on Sunday. What do we got next?
We have the Buffalo Bills going into Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. Steelers are a 3.5-point underdog at home. Over under slated at 47.5. That's a high for a Steelers game. I'd probably take the under there. But give me Steelers plus 3.5.
I don't know, with the way their defense has been. I don't know if that's the case.
They're hot and cold. Hot and cold. Because sometimes they'll give up 30 points and give, true. And have like 7 points and have like, 1 touchdown. Like, it depends.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. I'm going to go with Buffalo minus 3.5. I just feel like it's an obvious must win. They cannot afford another loss because they lose this game. then they're out of the entire playoff picture entirely. But the thing with the Steelers is that we don't know the status of Rodgers. Even if he does play this game, he's not going to be playing it at 100% more than likely. So I'll just give the edge to Josh Allen and trust that this offense will at least have a bounce back against the Steelers unit that, as you mentioned, has been hot and cold this season. They haven't really looked like the Steelers that we've seen in recent memory defensively, but they have had some games this season where they look like that. But they've also had games like we saw on this past Sunday where their defense is just getting torched up in the ground game as well as through the air. So I'll take Buffalo minus 3.5 in that matchup in Pittsburgh this Sunday. We then go into Sunday Night Football. I don't know how this team keeps getting primetime games, Johnson, but it's Broncos at Commanders. Broncos minus 6.5, 43.5, the over-under. Broncos, right?
Yeah, minus 6.5.
Why are the
We can
Commanders
skip
getting
it.
more primetime games? They had a chance to flex this game out. They didn't want to do it. Yeah, it's going to be a bad one. That's going to be a bad one on Sunday night. And it might get worse on Monday Night Football. Giants at the Patriots.
What do you mean?
Go ahead.
Break
this game down.
It's Giants at Patriots, Nick. It's Patriots in this at home and they're 7.5 point favorite. Over under slate at 46.5. I'm looking forward to this game. I got a circle on my calendar.
Oh yeah,
I think the Giants are gonna. I think the Giants would cover if it was plus 25.5. But with that being said, I'm gonna take Patriots minus 7.5.
What a great guy you are. I appreciate that so much.
This is gonna backfire me in about 8 days.
No. Here's what I got the whole game plan for you. I got the script. I already read the script. The Giants are going to have another 10-point lead, and they're going to blow it again in the fourth quarter. Drake May and company will get the win. They will not cover, but they'll get the win. Giants plus 7.5 is my pick.
All right, so there you have it. That wraps
and you know what?
The wishing hour.
I take the over too. Give me the over also.
There Giants you go.
Sucks. They fired Shane Bowen at least. I can at least be happy about that. I haven't had anything to be really cheery about this football season, but at least Shane Bowen's gone. He was.
It's the little things.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm sure you and I will be exchanging messages along Monday night watching that game. We'll see how that goes. I was really hoping the Giants would be better because this could have been a fun game. Both teams were in playoff contention.
Oh well, maybe next year.
Giants were officially the first team eliminated from the playoffs.
Yikes! Before Tennessee.
Is that crazy? The Titans are worse, and
that is pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy to think, but that's the case. The NFC picture is just insane this year. But yeah, we'll see how that unfolds on Monday night. But that'll do it for this week's edition of the Mushing Hour. Johnson, any final thoughts before we go into Week 13?
I think Matt Stafford has earned his rightful spot in the MVP race. We said last week we were favoring him, and myself included, and. It would be a great lifetime achievement award for him.
Let me look at the MVP odds real quick before we.
He's the heavy favorite. I think he's like minus 200 now.
Yeah, last week it was
again.
We talked about last week. I think it was him and May were. I think what was it plus 200 both of them.
I think it was like plus like plus 105 and like plus 115 something like that.
Yeah. At Stafford's minus like 220, May's plus 200. Jonathan Taylor, who was third, like with plus
like 800.
It's right. It's like plus 2,000 now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, listen,
he's earned it. He's
30-2. I think I don't remember the exact number he had, but I think he's thrown like 25 or like 21 straight touchdowns without an interception. It's like some crazy mark like that. Like he's just been insane. So good for him. He deserves an MVP. He deserves one. Drake May will get his time. Don't worry. I think Drake May will win MVP at some point. Hopefully Jackson Dart.
And then you wake up.
I can tree.
Then you wake up.
Do you think he plays Monday or it's Jameis again? Who would you rather? Let me ask you. Who would you rather face?
That's tough. I actually don't know.
Yeah, right.
I think Jameis, not like Jackson Dart's bad. Don't get me wrong, but Jameis has that veteran instinct. I kind of don't want to go against that.
I was having the worst. They lost that game on Sunday, but that was the most fun I've had watching a game since they beat the Eagles. Like they were doing trick plays. Jameis was like brought life into the team. Like they lost, I get it, but like they at least showed some sight of like hope. But yeah, we'll see. I think Dart is probably going to play, but I wouldn't mind Jameis getting another start. This is why I wanted him to start at the beginning of the season. But we had to go over the old Russell Wilson experiment. I'm going to just stop talking about that. So I'm just going to keep digressing. But that's going to do it for this week's edition of the All Gas No Break Sports Show. A big week in the NFL coming this week, of course, with Thanksgiving on Thursday. You have the Packers and the Lions, Chiefs and the Cowboys, Bengals and the Ravens. On Friday, for Black Friday, you have the Bears and the Eagles. And then going into the Sunday slate, Texans and Colts, Bills and Steelers, Broncos and Commanders on Sunday night. And then on Monday Night Football, Johnson and I meet off with the Giants and the Patriots to round out week number 13. We'll see how all that unfolds going into week number 14. For Nicholas Pavona and Andrew Johnson, this has been the All Gas No Break Sports Show. Have a great rest of your week and enjoy your Thanksgiving holiday.